Welcome back to Good Day State Line. Sarah's here with us tonight from Dady Law. We're diving back into our civics test, right?
Absolutely, we are. You know, election season's upon us. Election November 8th. So let's learn a little bit more about how our government works.
Okay, how many questions are there on the test again?
100.
Okay.
100. But when a permanent resident is applying for citizenship, the officer will randomly select 10 out of that 100, and they have to get 6 out of the 10 correct.
These are memorizable questions, obviously,
Yes.
so that's good, because otherwise
Yes.
it'd be very stressful to know that
Yes.
you're only getting 10, which is what we do. And
Yeah.
I mean, we've probably done 3 of these, maybe 3 or 4. I feel like I passed all but 1. I can't remember
I think
which
it's
one.
been a little bit more than 1, Michelle.
Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm not. All right, we have some questions from the civics test. The current vice president, Kamala Harris.
That is correct.
Okay, I know
so
that.
the civics test, obviously this changes
I was
every
gonna say,
4
that one
years,
changes.
potentially. So people have to be current on who the people are who are currently holding the office at the time they take the test.
Which is pretty important.
Yes.
I think that is important. I think that's actually, as an adult, I would say those are kind of, I mean, I knew the answer to that one, but a lot of these, when I do know the answers, they're from 8th grade. So it would be nice if I was, able to experience
We've
this
had a
more
few
often.
different people hold the vice presidency since you were in
Just a
8th grade,
few.
just like 1 or 2.
I can't even remember who was president when I was in 8th grade, so we won't ask that. Next question, please. I think we have it. There we go, go ahead.
If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president?
Well, this one is Kamala Harris.
Currently.
Right now,
As-
vice president.
That is correct.
I feel like in the current world where we are listening to all the things about the Queen right now too, just the line of succession is kind of in our brains. I might be actually more familiar with the British line of succession after vice. I don't know. Is the Speaker of the House after the Vice President?
You are correct.
Okay, well, we're not
and then
gonna
who's
think about
after Speaker of the House?
I don't know.
Secretary of State.
Okay, Secretary of State. That one I don't know. Okay, next question.
Who is the Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. military?
Is this the President?
Correct.
Okay. Whew.
And that's an important part of our Constitution, is to always make sure that a civilian is in charge of the U.S. military, and that's why the president is the
Okay.
commander-in-chief and not the top general
That makes
or
sense.
admiral.
That's some sort of balance there.
Civilian or oversight is very important to our democracy.
Okay, next question.
What does the president's cabinet do?
They meet.
That's correct. They do meet,
They
but
talk
for what
about
purpose?
policies?
They advise the
Oh,
president.
okay.
Now, do you know who members of the cabinet are?
The Secretary of State.
All the secretaries of the federal
okay.
agencies and
Okay.
departments, yes.
Oh, kind of knew that one. I give myself like a quarter of a point. Okay, next question.
What is the highest court in the United States?
I would say the Supreme Court.
You would be correct.
Okay. Also some good, Supreme.
And that's
advice.
important to understand about our branches of government. The legislature makes the law, the executive enforces the law, but the court says what the law is.
Yes.
So that's the checks and balances that we have.
The triangle. That one I remember from like 4th grade, the triangle. All right, I think we have a couple more.
What is one power of the federal government?
Are these multiple choice or are they fill in the blank?
They're fill in the blank. They're not multiple choice.
I think when you tell me, I'll be like, oh yeah, but I don't think I know the right way to answer this question.
So our Constitution lays out what the government can do, and
Okay.
if the Constitution doesn't say the government can do it, they can't do it.
Okay.
All right, so the enumerated powers include the power to declare war.
Okay.
Only Congress can declare war. The power to print money. To regulate immigration and naturalization is only a power of Congress.
I was not going to get any of those right. But money's important.
And
as
create
is-
an army.
It's all money. It's all important. All right, I think we have time for one more question.
All right. What are the 2 major political parties in the United States?
Well, this should be the Republicans and the Democrats.
Ding, ding, ding. You win today. Woo! You're a big winner today, Michelle.
Oh,
Good job.
Thank you very much. Of course, we enjoy Sara teaching us all of this stuff every time she joins us here on Good Day State Line. You can reach out to her if you have any questions or if you need her services. Yeah.
That is correct. If anyone needs to apply for U.S. citizenship,
Sara's
call
the
me.
person to call. Coming up next, we're off to see if Screw City Tavern has the best wings in the state line, and then it's Tuesday Trends and your chance to see Charlie Barron's Friday night at the Coronado. We'll be right back.